I wake up, you know, still be trying to figure out this life shit. Can't say I got answers yet, but, you know, I feel like we all trying to figure this out. Yeah, what's a life without peace? Life without goals, life without love, life without souls, life without joy.
Real deal with Akil. We are back with another one. Subscribe, rate, review, iTunes, Spotify, TikTok. I'm gonna give a big shout out to TikTok later on this show. UFM TV. Wilson's behind the camera. Same guy y'all said that y'all clowned him for picking AI with the least amount of handles. It's the one that's controlling everything right now behind the scenes. I'm gonna get out the way and just give TikTok a shout out right now, because right now with TikTok and social media, that was a big thank you for everybody that's commenting on the cut ones we're doing, the blind rankings we just did, everything. So it's a big shout out to y'all. We're gonna get the show rolling, but first, I want to say this. I have a little story to tell, because I want to just know who the hell steals toilet paper from an apartment gym. That's something that I've never seen before. That is something I ran into this morning, about to go work out, and I wanted to go to the restroom and found there was toilet paper non-existent. The day before that was there, and it was a full roll. All of a sudden, I just want to know who the hell steals that. Because last month, they stole dumbbells. And I'm like, damn, these broke ass niggas. I can't believe this shit. So that's the type of place I stay in right now. We stealing toilet paper and we stealing dumbbells. I just want to get that shit out the way. But I want to touch on what's happening right now, especially in hip hop, which is this whole Drake versus everybody in hip hop. And not so much of the beef, not so much of what everybody's talking about. It's more so of the art of public perception. And I feel like that's what Drake mastered. For the people that don't know what public perception is, a belief or opinion often held by many people and based on how things seem. That is what Drake has mastered. And I'm gonna just give this example. You ever met somebody that's a friend, a person you potentially want to date, and you start to realize you talk to them more and more, and you're speaking to them through text, through talk, and you start to learn that person's a common denominator when they're having issues with friends, having issues with family. Start off fine, everything is fine and then, but once you get to know that person more and more, you start to realize like, okay, you had this amount of exes in the past. You had friends that you lost as an adult. It's not them, it's you. That's what's happening right now. So we take that into consideration when we talk about even celebrities, because we hold celebrities to a higher standard. Athletes, celebrities, whoever, people that's in position of power, we hold them to a higher standard. But we just forget the morals. We forget real life issues, because what's happening right now with Drake versus the Rick Ross, the Kendrick, the A$AP Rocky, Future, whoever, The Weeknd. This isn't music. This is something beyond music. This is something that's not even about the lyrics. Who's the better rapper? That's Kendrick versus Drake. We understand that part. But what Rick Ross is talking about, of when A$AP Rocky hopped on the feature, this is not about who has the better bars with them. This is things like, yo, if you're A$AP, you've been speaking on Rihanna. You've been salty about me having Rihanna and you not able to wife Rihanna. And I've been letting it pass for so long, and now I'm going to say something. This is Rick Ross and Kanye knowing that you have a guy that owns Republic, and that person name, I want to say, is Lucien what's help me? Lucien Grand something. I'm gonna get that name. That guy was under Jimmy Iovine. And you start to unbag, you start to unwind certain things, and you realize, like, Drake is really has a guy that's.
It's Lucien Grange. That's his
Lucien Grange, yeah. You start to realize, and that's what Rick Ross talking about, like, yo, you have this guy that's positioned a power that's a machine behind you. But the public is not even thinking about it. The public is seeing the simple surface of it. Ground surface of what's happening with the situation. And it's like, no, yo, this is deeper. And that is what Drake has mastered. He mastered the art. Because if I asked this question 3 months ago, if I go off and say and ask everybody, make a poll, hey, if Drake and Kendrick got into a diss battle, it's 3 months ago, who would y'all pick? 90% of y'all would say Kendrick will wipe out Drake. That's the honest truth. Today, Drake has put out 2 songs. Kendrick Lamar had a feature. And now it goes from 90% Kendrick to now maybe people's like, wow, Drake has a shot. Kendrick Lamar is really scared of Drake. That is what Drake did to change the minds of people. That's the art of public perception. And that's what he's been doing. We at a point now in hip hop where people really believe that Kendrick Lamar is scared of Drake. One of the greatest ever. A guy that always been calling out people since 2013, since Control. He doesn't put out a song in the timely fashion how we want him to put out a song. As much as we listen to Kendrick Lamar and been following this man since Overly Dedicated, have y'all not learned that Kendrick Lamar don't operate on nobody else's time? Don't y'all know that he operates on his own time? Y'all just seen this man have a 5-year delay from Damn to Mr. Around the Big Steppers. And y'all think he's gonna be rushing a song. That's not the case. We already know he has a hit 'em up style song in the vote. But again, that's the art of public perception, people. And that's what we gotta realize now in society, because everybody's fast. Microwave. One thing now, fast, quick. That's not how it works. So, like I said, what's going on right now with Drake and this whole Thanos theory Thanos thing we want to give him? No. This isn't about hip hop. This is about real situations. Moving to another beef in hip hop. Chris Brown, Quavo. People got mad at me, rightfully so. Not worried. About the whole Chris Brown Quavo situation. Honestly, what to be mad about? I think Chris Brown did wipe out Quavo. Not to the Ja Rule fashion, how 50 Cent did Ja Rule, but it wasn't that bad. But it was a hard diss track. I would say, to go as far as to say this is one of the hardest diss tracks I've heard in the past 7 years. I can say that. 7 to 10, maybe. If you want to count all of Chicago drill music, then go right ahead. Some of the main disses, this is one of the hardest, one of the most disrespectful ones I've heard. But where people got mad at me is when I commented about Quavo's song Response that he had. I just went off and said, hey, this is actually not bad. This is actually good, with fire emojis. People was in uproar. Oh, what? This is so garbage. No, it's not good. What are you talking about? It's not even a good song. He's not talking about nothing. Really? I'm having people that don't listen to hip hop like that tell me this is garbage. No. I'm damn sure not listening to nobody that says their favorite rapper is a person that says their booty hole's brown and what she say, my booty hole's brown, pussy pink. I'm not. If that's your favorite rapper, I don't want to hear your opinion on hip hop. No. Shout out Sexy Red. I'm not saying anything wrong with her. I'm just saying I'm not listening to her fan base. They're gonna tell me that Quavo's response was garbage. I didn't say it was great as Chris Brown's response, this song. I'm not saying that. But the input takeoff in it, his bars was better than most people thought. It was better than my expectation. I didn't expect Quavo to come with anything that was fire. It wasn't on Chris Brown level, but it was pretty. He held his own, in a sense. At the end of the day, Chris Brown still won the beef. But I just think that's another part of public perception. Chris Brown, the bigger artist, the bigger name, better entertainer, one of the best in the generation. So some people call him the next Michael Jackson, which is a stretch. But that's what it is. Quavo is part of Migos. People feel like it happened in Houston. People feel like, hey, I was irresponsible. Whatever happened when Takeoff passed away. People is upset about that. Quavo's not in the same light as Chris Brown. Quavo dropped 2 solo albums. At best, his second one was way better than his first. But is that saying a lot? No. But that's just the public perception. Chris Brown, very hard diss track. Quavo's response, mid, less. That's the perception. That's it. But that is the art of the perception, public opinion. That matters a lot. I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to touch on something quick, just nothing too crazy. We live in Houston Texans jerseys. Let's give our thoughts about that real quick, Wilson. Houston Texans jerseys. First of all, I will say this. I want to shift gears to the Houston Texans jerseys. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it now. Don't want to spend too long on it, but I just want to give my quick take on it. I think for the first time in my life, I'm going to buy a Houston Texans jersey. I love them. It's pretty dope. Especially love the red ones. The white one is cool. I wish they went all white with white helmets, but it's doable. The H helmet, that alternate, I think it's a color. I want to say it's a colorless jersey. I'm assuming. The uniform that's navy blue with the H on it. It's pretty cool. I love them jerseys. I think out of 10, I give it a 7.5, 8. Out of 10, I'm not saying it's the best jersey in the NFL. It's actually not the worst. What the Texans just had for these 20 years, for what that shit represented, and who was the owner, and that history of the Texans is wiped away. The only damn thing we missing now is a new stadium. That's it. But that jersey that we had since 2002 was a bottom 3 NFL jersey. So no, I'm glad they got a new regime, new air. That's all this means is H-Town. Hell, we seen it this year. It's a new life in Houston. It's new a DJ inside the stadium. That never happened. You know what I'm saying? D'Amico Ryans, their coach. So it's a new regime, new era. I like it a lot. What you think? Don't worry about it.
I mean, it was pretty cool too. I just seen some comments saying that looked like those Madden franchise jerseys when you move to London, the Black Knights. It kind of looks like an upgraded version of that, but it was cool to me, low key. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's 8 out of 10 at the best. However you want to look at it.
I would say A too. If you talk to a lot of fans in Houston, they'll say probably a 10 because that's the second iteration of the jerseys they've seen. But really, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's pretty fair. Good. I like them. I would damn sure buy them. I might get it custom made. I don't know. I might get my name on it. I don't know.
Might as well get it custom made.
I might get RDW on the back. That's what I'm thinking. I gotta see which color though. Here's the fun part. We want to shift gears to TikTok fan engagement. This is probably something new. This will be something that I will be doing in the future because there's a lot of engagement on social media. Like I said, I want to thank y'all again that's on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok right now, you're not following RDWA Podcast. You're going to get a lot of content from the podcast, the content we do with UFM TV, everything. That's all the content. If you still want to get on Instagram, @__ RDWA. If you want to follow UFM TV, if I might get this wrong, but it's UFM. It got to be underscore.
The underscore's at the end. UFM TV.
UFM TV underscore.
It's close though. It's close.
But hell, just type in UFM TV, it should pop up.
It's the only one on there.
It's going to pop up. So you're going to see all the engagement. I want to give y'all a thank you because y'all, even though some of the comments is crazy, wild, funny, keep coming with the comments. Q&A is going to be in the future, but we got some. But I'll be watching. I'll be watching now. I see what y'all been saying. So y'all think we just gonna post and I'm not gonna see the shit. That's what y'all thought. Oh no. This is the poll. We call y'all asses out. We seen them comments, cause we know. I got a few on my phone. This might be you.
I got a few too myself, and I don't know whether to call the laws or laugh, but it was pretty wild.
First one. Username Dirt McGirt. Dude who picked AI needs to be beat with a bag of dirty nickels. That's you, Wilson. He's talking about you. Hey.
A bag of dirty nickels is crazy. What does that even look like?
Look, that was the cut one from the handles. That was the AI Harden, Kyrie, Jamal Crawford. That was under that. I seen that Dirt McGirt. But that is a good question. I don't know what that means, hit with a bag of dirty nickels.
You can tell he's probably from the country or something, lives in a tractor trailer or something.
This got to be Knoxville, Tennessee shit.
What's his profile picture?
Has nothing. The J. That's it. So it's always the ones that we peep that don't have no name. They got some weird shit. It's not their face. But we seen that Dirt. We seen that.
Before you move on, can I have the liberty of saying this next one having to do with me since we're on the subject?
What happened?
So there was a comment by a Mike Henderson that said, you need to lose him as a friend ASAP. Take him to the hood and let him get his first DP.
Wait, are you talking about? What's DP?
Do you really want me to say it on air?
I mean, you gotta say it now. What the fuck is a DP?
It means double penetration. A man said I should go to the hood and let me get DP in front of a bunch of other men. TikTok is crazy as hell. It's an AI one.
This is towards
me.
You've been getting a lot of shit on this AI shit. You've been getting a lot.
And that's perfectly fine. I mean, if y'all stuck with nostalgia, that's me.
Let's talk about this just quickly.
Mm-hmm.
AI, Jamal Crawford, Kyrie, James. The obvious answer should be James Harden, but you want to be different and pick Allen Iverson.
I mean,
why?
It's not really too different. I mean, you're comparing somebody whose handles was bought from the 90s to guys now that kind of revolutionized a style of dribbling. And like Durlo said in the cut one that AI mostly carried, and they kind of had to put a rule on it because people were putting the ball below the ball instead of on top of it. And also, this man didn't have a left hand. So how do you consider somebody who's the best handles on that list, but every time he goes left, he pulls up for a jumper?
So what you're telling me is that you penalizing this man for being born in the area he was in.
I'm not penalizing because, mind you, I never disrespected Buddy. I said multiple times in that video, it's nothing personal. And I grew up with AI too, with the I3 headband, all that. But compared to those guys, they're better than AI at this point when it comes to handles. And that's just evolution. Jamal Crawford, you can't put AI over him because he has an array of moves. Kyrie Irving, he's untouchable at that point. You can't touch him. You really can't.
I'll be damned if anybody would have put him in the comments. I would have called their ass out. That's not happening.
Exactly.
He ain't cutting Kyrie Irving.
And Harden, he just has a deeper bag handles wise than AI because, like I mentioned, he created a whole new move for hoopers with that little two-step step back and shit. Nobody was doing it before Harden.
Nah.
You could say the same for AI, but it was just a simple crossover. And one other thing too, when he crossed up Ty Lue during the NBA Finals, he fell down after the jumper, not the cross itself.
Yeah.
So I mean, y'all can say what y'all want, but I had some NBA players, not gonna say no names for the sake of the show. They told me they agree with my picks. So I mean, if I got that, I ain't got nothing to worry about. But y'all go off though.
Here's one. This was under the Cut One movies with Boys in the Hood, Paid in Full, Menace to Society, and Juice. This is from I Got It On Me 1100. Cut Juice. These dudes must be from the East or something. Instead of for, it's from. But I know typo, it works. So let's debunk this. So You A Film and Real Do What It Kill podcast and also the Easy Corner podcast, we're based in Houston, Texas. So I know we've been seeing a lot of theories. That wasn't the only comment we've seen, but that one just, I just took that one. But we've seen comments before that thinking that we're from the East Coast. But no, we're based in Houston, Texas. We went to Texas Southern University, HBCU. So yeah, had to just get that out the way. All right, here we go. Another one from Vegeta. This was under the Cut One classic albums with Carter 3, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, Blueprint, and All Eyes on Me. Fun fact, Lauren didn't write that album and got sued for it. She gets praised for having only one solo album she didn't even write. That album gotta go. So
He preaching.
well, this the thing. Like I've said before to people, I'm not looking at discography catalog or another. We're just talking about classic albums and what that did for hip hop, the impact. So when you have a Mount Rushmore of anything, especially for hip hop albums, it's going to be subjective. It's going to be something that nobody's going to ever agree on. But majority of people, most people's going to agree on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill being one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. Not looking at who wrote, who did this, no. From what that album stood for. Nobody looked at Lauryn Hill and said, hey, she's bar for bar better than the MC Lyte or Queen Latifah. But for her with the Fijis and getting that solo album at that time in '98, I think that was one of the best albums. So even though she didn't write it, I'm not going to penalize her for that. And then she won a Grammy for that as well. So yeah, Lauryn Hill, that definitely stays for sure. This is a funny one from Killer Cam. And this is one of the times I had to comment back on somebody because I was just in the mood. I'm not really in the mood to comment like that, especially on TikTok when so many comments coming in, but I had to comment. This was about the Cut One mixtape with Friday Night Lights, Section 80, So Far Gone. 4 people to never ask questions about music. Crying, laughing emojis. I was in the mood this day. I said, so, well, what are you cutting then, smart guy? He has the nerve to cut Friday Night Lights, he says. He responded with Friday Night Lights. So he's talking about 4 people to not ask questions about music, but yet proceed, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna cut Friday Night Lights.
He agreed with me.
I bet his reason's not like yours, though. Your reason is just the fact you haven't went back to it.
Right.
It's equivalent to if I go to my nephew, who's 27, and he don't think Pimp Butterfly is all that. I asked him, like, yo, when last you heard Pimp Butterfly? When it first came out. When it came out, he was 18. Damn. So how the hell I'm supposed to listen to that? You know, no, you can't. It's not the same. Come back to me when you're 25. But then again, at the same time, too, when it comes to age and music, I was 18, and before that, I knew about some of the greats in the 80s, Run DMC, LL Cool J. I did my research. Hell, I'm a Temptation guy. So at some point, we got to debunk that age shit. Y'all just got to do y'all history, Gen Z.
Damn, I felt that in my soul. Goddamn.
TJ, I forgot which video this was. I love this. Folks are having real conversations. TJ, I appreciate you, brother, because we are living in a time right now, and I can remember when I started this podcast back in 2017. When I started this podcast back in 2017, when I used to tell people I got a podcast, it was like, oh my God, wow, really? Really? What is it about? They fascinated, they enthused, they want to know, they curious. You tell a person in 2024, black male or female, black person, whatever. Hey, I got a podcast. The response is now, another one. Oh, look at this. Really? You again? You one of them, huh? That's what you do. What you talk about, 50-50? That's how it's perceived now versus when I started 7 years ago. So yes, that's the whole point of the UFM TV, the whole UFM brand, Real Deal with Akil. We talk about real conversations. This podcast right here, real conversations, real people, culture talk, everything that's happening, sports, music, news, entertainment, whatever. You're going to get all of that. Fan engagement, everything. Easy Corner Podcast, top high school athletes in the state of Texas and around the nation. Football, basketball, whoever. In my humble opinion, that's under UFM. That's ran by Wilson. Yes, the same guy that said Rod Wilson's better than Deion Sanders. That is going to be on real conversations, sports, everything. What else we got here? Here's another one. Y'all coming with the comments. K-Dot. I don't think y'all know basketball for real, and it shows y'all stuck with old times. AI is not a better ball handler than any of these guys, but he was the best for his time. I don't know how to respond to that one, K-Dot. He got me stuck. Well, this is what I'll say. At that time, is he a better ball handler than Kyrie Irving? No, AI would tell you that shit. Kyrie Irving arguably is the greatest ball handler of all time. Jamal Crawford. I mean, you can go there with that. I'm just going to say James Harden. I would have to cut out of those four because of. I feel like now it's not as. This gonna sound crazy. James. I'm not saying James Harden's not a great ball handler. I understand. Step back, ISO, whatever. Doing all that shit. Him with the step back, that's cool. You know what? I ain't gotta get all analytical. No, motherfucker, I'm a nigga and I'm with AI. I'm for the culture. That's why. I ain't gotta do all this analytical bullshit. Who scored this? Who did this? No, motherfucker. I'm an AI fan. I don't give a damn. Yes, I'm not cutting AI. Sorry, I'm not getting analytical. I don't know why I tried to get technical just now. It's like, yo, bro, fuck, nigga, you grew up in that era. Yes, I'm not cutting AI. And I'm from Houston. And yes, I'm not the biggest James Harden fan. And yes, I feel like I still hold a grudge because he blew it in 2018 against the motherfucking Warriors when Chris Paul got hurt. And we was up 3-2. And all of a sudden, Chris Paul goes down. That was his time to step up and be that guy because Jordan would have did it. Kobe would have did it. D-Wade would have did it. AI would have done it and stepped up and won that series. So, yes, I'm pissed. So that all that dribbling shit he didn't work. So, no, I'm not cutting AI. I'm cutting Harden.
So seeing Harden in that cut one just kind of reopened old wounds to a sense. That's what you're saying.
I ain't gonna say on camera. This is not anything serious. Fuck him. I'm not. No. I'm not. No, bro. No. If he won the championship and the handles got him to the championship, fine, maybe, but no, because all them handles didn't do nothing for us. Shit was one dimensional. And all he did was a dribble from the top of the key. Shit.
And AI just carried.
I mean, AI ain't do all that.
I'm just saying.
That was fan engagement from TikTok, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Keep the comments rolling. We're going to move forward with a new segment. Here's the real. Here's the deal. So there's been a lot of things happening. And this is the segment where we just talk about some of the top things that's going around, top stories, top coverages, just around the world, the nation, or whatever. Wilson, what we got?
So for the first one, we have Joe Biden passing a capital gains bill that shaves 44.6% of every business investment. The previous rate for business owners and billionaires was 8.2.
So we're talking about a marginal increase from then to now. So let's say, and this is knock on wood, let's say hypothetically Real Deal with Akil or UFM TV gets a big investment, a big bag. We have to shave half of that and give that to Uncle Sam to make a long story short.
So that means if I make $250,000 in 1 year, I got to give half of that.
Basically.
And that's across the country.
Mm-hmm. If you make a certain net income, either it's a business move or an investment, you have to shave nearly half of that to Uncle Sam. And do you know what that money's mostly going to? To fund this Israel war.
That's why I never could understand war. That's why I hate war. Because if I lived in California, I'm already suffering with the tax. So what happens to the states when there's no state income tax then? Like Texas, Florida. Honestly, I think TikTok's still gonna be here. Like I've said before, that all America want to do is have control over it. That's the last big social media app that America doesn't have control over. They had control over MySpace, they had control over Facebook, had control over Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. They just want control over TikTok. That's just my opinion. I don't think TikTok is ever I don't think it'll be banned and shut down forever. Make too much money. And like you told me before, they got hella boosts when you go to arenas, games, sponsors. It's TikTok is everywhere.
Yeah, they had a booth at the Super Bowl as well.
So worst case scenario, it shuts off it shuts down in America. It stays out the other countries, but you just got to get a VPN basically.
Yeah,
and pay a subscription.
Yeah, pretty much. Which half of the American people do anyway, especially for live streaming. So there's always loopholes around this. So what's really the truth?
So to sum everything up, TikTok is never going anywhere. Basically.
Yeah.
Just pay for a VPN monthly and you're fine. Why the fuck the government can't just say that? I understand. I know they can't say it. Whatever. What we got next?
This one is a local one. So the deal about Turkey Leg Hut and the Oyster Hut.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's a tightrope right here. I ain't saying nothing. This is all you, my brother.
Where do I start? All right, so I will just say this to close the show. I don't know these people personally. I don't know the two people that owns, well, Lynn and I forgot the lady's name. God bless me. Forgive me. But just going off of things I'm hearing and reading on the news, it's like one big ass soap opera that's happening. Every week there's something. He gets kicked off the property of Turkey Leg Hut, and he goes make Oyster Hut, and Oyster Hut has a situation with the guy that has the sauce and him. There was an article this week that said he left a man unconscious back in February. It's just so much. And I think what happens now, if you're a person that wants to start a business, restaurant, club, store, whatever, this is literally the blueprint of what not to do when you start a business. That's why sometimes it's very hard to run a business with family or close friends because of situations like this. It's possible that it could be successful, but when you're a couple on that magnitude, everybody's in your business. Everybody has something to say. We go to articles, which we know is true, that they didn't even pay employees. They're not paying employees. With everything that's happening, you start to think to yourself, that incident that happened in, I want to say 2020 or 2021, I might got years mixed up, when 5015 had that explosion and the whole patio went to shits. You go back to that and you remember that the owner of 5015, Steve Rogers, had a dispute or some type of lawsuit towards the owners of 5015 Turkey Leg Hut. And then the next day, bam, that shit happens. You think about the office of Turkey Leg Hut, where they do they filing and taxes or HR shit, is in flames. Somebody's an arsenal expert. I could say that shit. Somebody. But you start to think to yourself, it's like, what's really happening? So that's why I say it's just one big soap opera. That was Here's the Deal, Here's the Real. That was the Real Deal with Akil podcast, man. Listen. Show. Yes. Thank you. Real Deal with Akil show. I'm never going to say podcast again because of everything else. So what's happening? But it is a show. Tune in, subscribe, forward it, share, do whatever. Just know that we are going to cover every goddamn thing moving forward. So, Real Deal with Akil, UFM TV, we out.